Yes, you have to sit here and do what needs to be done until it is done. Discipline, time management, and doing the hard thing. Who's your study buddy? Like, how are you choosing to absorb the material? Get to work. Be very careful with the people that you are choosing to attach yourself. Create a schedule. Maybe Monday, Wednesday is property. Maybe Tuesday, Thursday is contract. You need to not move on when you don't get it. But there was no point in that process for me where it was easy. No, you can't go out that night. No, you can't go out that weekend. No, you cannot go out that week. You have friends that you really shouldn't have. All we did was win. I wanna run away. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Ellen Inspire. If you're new here, welcome. We have space. Take a chair. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I love you. I have decided to start a new series on my channel. As a licensed attorney or practicing attorney, this is my way to give back because I have been where you are. If you're interested in going into law school, if you are already in law school and you're in your first semester or second year or third year and you're getting ready to get out the door, I am here to help you through, okay? Now, I know a lot of you already have mentors, you have friends, you have peers, and you might not need another voice. I have so much to offer you, a lot of tips, okay? Just a quick background. I feel like I accidentally became an attorney, okay? Landed my dream job, got my dream pay, and I'm now living my dream life. I am mad at it. I'm not complaining. I am so grateful. For someone who actually decided to go to law school super late in life, I never wanted to do it. I never planned for it. I didn't have a high undergrad GPA. I didn't get into a top tier school, but I did end up landing some really top tier positions and jobs after law school. I practice in a state that I didn't go to school in, so I have a lot of things to offer. If you're interested, stay tuned. I'm going to share all of the personal stuff at the end of this video. If you're interested, you can continue to watch to the end and you will get all the tea, okay? But in the meantime, I want to get straight into the video and just share some of the stuff that you should or are expecting to see or receive from my channel or from this series on this channel. Now, let me just start off by saying, you know, this is the first video of this series, so it's going to be very broad. So all the videos following this one will be very specific. I will have a video catered to people who are trying to get into law school, specifically what to do, especially if you have a low LSAT score, or if you're struggling, or you're not a good test taker and you don't know what else to do. You've gotten tutors, you bought all the books, you've listened to all the audios, you've done everything that everybody told you to do, and you're still not getting the score that you need to get into the school that you're trying to get into. I have tips for you. Yes, so that's going to be a separate video. I also have videos that I'm going to do that's going to cater specifically for first year law school students. You guys, that journey, that transition is going to be one of the hardest in your entire life. Transitioning from anything and going into law school, like that first semester will knock you dead. You will feel like you want to die. You will feel like a failure. Failing is going to become like second nature, because there are things in law school that I didn't know until like toward the end of my first year, and had I known before, it would have saved me so much heartache, so much pain. I cried so many tears. So I'm going to be the shoulder, the online shoulder that you're going to cry on. You guys can DM me, you can message me, you can email me. I am available to you. So take advantage of it, okay? I had a mentor. Without that mentor, I would not be here today. So I just know how useful this tool can be, and without it, how some can really struggle, suffer, and just go without. My light went out, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm going to make a separate series for those of you who are in your first year of law school. Leave questions, comments below, struggles, leave them below, and I can cater a lot of my videos to your needs. Otherwise, they're going to be kind of broad or just based on my experience. I'm also going to do videos on those who are far along in their law school journey, who are in their second year or their third year, and those who are getting ready to transition into the real world after law school. This series is going to be packed, so do not miss out. If you haven't subscribe to my channel, like this video so that, you know, the algorithm can push it so that those who are in the same boat can see it and can receive the kind of help that we are willing and able to provide. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get on to the video. So the first thing I want to do is kind of just give you like a summary of pre-law school before getting into law school, what to expect and what you probably should do. And again, this is very broad. Nothing is specific. I want to dedicate a whole video just for, you know, the admission process, the LSAT, how to prep, whether or not you should get a tutor, how much you should pay for a tutor, how much money you should put aside for just the preparation and the admission process, okay? And also waivers. I myself have qualified and applied for 2 waivers when I was applying for law school. So we're gonna talk about that first, and then we're gonna talk about, you know, your first month or even your first semester. You're obviously here because you've decided that you want to go to law school, or that you are already in law school and want to become an attorney. I want to know why. I need you to answer this question like right now. You can pause this video if you want to, or you can just answer it in your heart. Why do you want to go to law school? That's so important. There are going to be moments, days, months, seasons where all you're going to have to hold on to is your why, okay? Because it's so hard. I'm not trying to scare you, but there was no point in that process for me where it was easy. You know how something is hard and eventually it gets easier and you get it and it's like, okay, well, you know, all right, we're cruising, it's good. For me, I don't remember ever having that moment. I never had that season, not that day at all. Throughout that entire process, it wasn't until I passed the bar exam I started to cruise. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I didn't have that why, I would have given up a long time ago. I wouldn't be sitting here making this video. I would not be an attorney without that why. So first thing first, I need you to be clear on your why. Why am I sacrificing my money, time, energy, family, friend, relationship, comfort? You are sacrificing everything for 2 to 3 years, okay? If you are in the process, I am praying for you. That process made me feel like a failure. Like I literally had no chance at all to be an attorney. So once you get your why out the way, then I need you to go on Amazon and get that LSAT practice book and take at least 1 practice exam tonight, tomorrow, if you haven't already, okay? This week, this weekend. At some point within the next few days. In the description of this video, I have my Amazon storefront, and I have within this store a store for law school. I don't know what it's titled, but it's like LSAT Law School. If you go in there, you will see everything that you might possibly need. One, whether you are trying to get into law school, are in law school, or getting ready to leave law school, everything is in there. Spend that $20 to $30, I'm sure. Spend that money, get that book. Now, the exam, I don't want you to take it and based on your result decide whether or not you want to go, because that's not why you're taking it. You're taking it so you can have an idea of what to expect for the next 3 to 6 months and maybe even a year. That entire process was like 1 to 2 years for me. And then come back, okay? Come back next week and we'll talk about it. Now, for those of you who have just begun your first semester of law school, the one thing that I am going to tell you right now is be very careful with the people that you are choosing to attach yourself with, because that is what's going to really like mold and shape the environment that you are in for the entire semester. Okay, you know, you're so early on, you're super inviting, everybody is super friendly. At some point, the veil come down, honeymoon is over. I want to say you can easily walk away, but it's not that easy. It's so hard to detach. So I want you to pay close attention to that bestie, okay, or that study partner or that friend. Pay very close attention. Watch how they move, how they respond. Watch their study habits. How serious are they taking this? Are they taking this serious? Where do they come from? Does it mean for them what it means for you? And I know it's going to mean something different for everyone, but is it as valuable to them and important to them as it is to you? Everybody you see is not going to be there at the end. They're cutting 10% of the class. It happened in my law school. It happens in every law school. Okay. And that's another reason why you don't hang on to people so tightly, okay? Because they are your competition. They are your competition, whether you like it or not. Bestie, family, friend, they are your competition. You have enemies that you really shouldn't have. You have friends that you really shouldn't have. So your first semester, pick carefully who you're going to attach yourself to. They're going to be a very important individual in your life that's going to take up space and time and energy. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with being friends with anybody. There's nothing wrong with kicking it and having a good time and connecting, because you really do need connection everywhere in life. However, you know, you want to be mindful. You need discernment when you're making these connections. And I would hate for you to experience some of the things that I experienced, because I really did experience some wickedness during law school. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, and this you might not want to do, or you might want to do, how you present yourself matter. And it might not matter to your peers, but it certainly matters to your professors and the people who are above you. You know, nowadays people don't want to put any effort into their appearance, how they look, how they dress. So my advice to you is to always present yourself well when you're going to class, or when you're just having encounters with just really anyone who is of importance. Okay. The other thing is, you want to build a routine very, very early on. If you haven't built your routine yet, you need to start today. Okay. You don't want to be waking up different times of the day every single day. No, you want to free your mind. The last thing you want to do is care about like little things, because you need your mind clear and free for bigger things. And bigger things are coming if they haven't come already. I want you to understand that your routine, whatever you're building, is not going to be easy at the beginning, especially if it's new to you. You're going to be a little uncomfortable. That's okay. The routine that I built at the beginning of my law school career literally took me to the end, the very last day of my law school career, and it literally saved me. The routine has to include when you're going to wake up. It doesn't matter if you have class or don't have class. When are you going to wake up every day? Okay. When are you going to study every day? What courses are you going to study? Also include what you're going to eat, when you're going to cook, when you're going to do your house chores, when you're gonna, you know, hang out and just let loose. Create a schedule. Maybe Monday, Wednesday is property. Maybe Tuesday, Thursday it's contract. Create a routine that includes a schedule that is realistic. Okay. I know it's gonna sound boring and crazy. You want to do the same thing over and over, because again, you want to free your mind. Create your routine and stick to it. And then what you also want to do if you're in your first semester of law school is make sure that you introduce yourself personally to all of your professors, your deans, your mentors, your counselors, everybody. You want to introduce yourself. You want to make an impression. Like, just go up to them like, hi, I'm Alencia. Shake their hand. It's so nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here in your class. And try to sit in the front. I know. Try to sit in the front of the class. If you sit in the front, you have a less likely chance of being called on than if you're sitting in the back. And if you're sitting in the back, you're more likely to be distracted by just little things. It's the person in front of you, on the side of you. It's your cell phone, their computers. It's so many things. Law school, your classes, that's not the time to be distracted. Those are the first few tips that I want to share with you if you are just starting law school. Again, congratulations. Now, if you are deep in, if you're in your second year or going into your third year or are in your third year, we have a lot to talk about, okay? Your grades are either they're exactly where you want them to be, they're above what you want them to be, or they're below what you want them to be, okay? This can get a little complicated because I would literally need to set a video aside if your grades are below what you want them to be, and another video if your grades are where you want them to be, and another video for if your grades are far above. We're gonna push that video way later, okay? Because in law school, I'm not saying it's rare that your grades are exactly where you want them to be, but I feel like these professors are built to make sure that you are never satisfied in life, okay? It's like they throw a curveball every time you think you got it. That's just how it is. So if your grades are not where you want them to be, first thing you need to do is figure out your environment. Like, who's your study buddy? What you doing with your time? Like, how are you choosing to absorb the material? Everybody learned different, and I had to learn this in law school. I did a lot of research on that because I needed to figure out what kind of learner am I? Because I can sit here in class, pay attention, eyes wide open in the front, and still not be able to retain and understand what the professor is saying. Like, what language are you speaking? Because sis don't understand. So I had to figure out my learning style, and it wasn't sitting in the classroom and listening, not at all. But I did those things anyways. You need to figure out what is your learning style. That's the first thing I would recommend that you do. Once you figure it out, get to work. It's gonna take a lot of work for you to make that transition, but you can make that transition. I didn't figure out my learning style until my second semester of law school. So the first semester of my first year was a flop, complete flop. The second semester of my first year was okay. All right. My second year, all we did was win, because I took the time to figure out and understand my learning style. I paid attention and I put the work that I needed to put in order to retrain myself to learn that way. I feel like we are on autopilot in life, right? We just go with the flow. We just assume we're gonna get it. And when we don't, we move on. In this case, you can't afford to do that. You need to not move on when you don't get it. And it's gonna require some sacrifice. No, you can't go out that night. No, you can't go out that weekend. No, you cannot go out that week, okay? No, you can't watch that. No, you can't listen to that. Yes, you have to sit here and do what needs to be done until it is done, okay? Discipline, time management, and just doing the hard thing. And just accepting the fact that you are in a hard season or hard moment. It is okay. But the key word is moment. That's what I have to focus on, that moment. Now, obviously, there's so much more that I want to share with you guys. But before I go, I do want to share with you guys how I accidentally became an attorney, landed my dream job, my dream pay, and now am living my dream life. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this journey with you. Stay encouraged and stay tuned for next week's video.